Fuad, Jacob, congratulations. You've made it into the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home fortress, where you will recreate an iconic weapon from history. Are you ready to see what that weapon is?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Right. That weapon is the Jumonji Yari. Originating in the 1500s, the Jumonji Yari was carried by Japanese soldiers known as the Ashigaru. These peasant foot soldiers relied on the long-shafted spear for its reach and versatility in combat. Using the weapon's double-edged crossbars to disarm and pull mounted samurai from their horses, the Ashigaru could then employ the razor-sharp central blade to fatally skewer the fallen enemy, and all from a comfortable distance. Today, video game enthusiasts can unleash the Jumonji Yari's devastating capabilities in the game Shadow Fight 2. Good luck. We'll see you in 5 days.
My name is Jacob Gayton. I'm 19 years old. I've been throwing knives for 10 to 11 years or so, and I've started bladesmithing because every knife I bought kept breaking. So I'm like, screw it, I can do a better job. I don't have a power hammer, I don't have a press or anything like that in my home forge. I take it back, I do have a power hammer. There's the hammer, and there's the power. That is definitely getting on my nerves. My forge has a few limitations. One being that my opening is exactly 8 inches wide. I stick it in there just the right way. The heat treat on this weapon is extremely tough because it won't fit in my forge. So far, my main blade is getting a lot hotter than my 2 arms. Can't let it get too hot, but I can't let it be too cold. Shoot! Got warp in one of my blades, of course. Crap. My whole blade warped. I still have to heat treat this thing again. I ain't gonna take the risk of trying to straighten it too cold and snap it. There we go. That's what I like to say. I want this handle to stand out a little bit because it's the biggest piece on this weapon. I'm gonna take my torch and I'm gonna burn it. I just really like the way it brings out the grain of the wood. I love the color. The wood grain's showing awesome. Pretty happy with it. I'm trying to think of different detail work to put in this to really make my piece stand out over Fuad. So I decided to write Forged in Fire in Japanese right here. Never wrote in Japanese before, so this should be fun.
My name is Fuad Akawi. People that know me joke about how I can heat treat with a cup of French fry oil and a Bic lighter, and I think I'm really gonna be able to bring it. Traditionally, a Trident Yari is forged from one piece. I've taken a different approach where it's gonna be 2 pieces. The blade of the Yari is going easily, and I'm just sailing through that part. I know I have a good heat treat on the first blade and the second blade. Look at that. I have quenched the blade, and I can start working on the handle. This rake company makes their poles out of ash. I don't have to do a lot of finish work, sanding work, which saves me time. That is some rake. My only hope is that my Yari is half as strong as this rake. Wow, I'm 11 inches short. This isn't gonna work. Up to this point, everything's gone too well, and I'm snatching defeat from the jaws of victory because of a stick. I have only one option left. Created steel sleeve to extend the handle so it meets all the parameters. I hope it's strong enough to do the job. What I've made is beautiful work that may stand the test of time long beyond the years that I'm on the earth. I hope the judges like it as much as I do because I think it's some of the best work I've ever done.
Bladesmiths, welcome back to the Forge. Up first, the kill test. Doug?
I saw Doug had an injury. I'm like, well, is he still gonna test it?
The Yari, with its long handle and multi-pronged spear, makes it a trifecta of points and edges in a deadly weapon. To see what kind of lethal damage your weapon will do, I will take your Yari and deliver multiple slashes and thrusts on this big carcass. Fuad, you're up first. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
You can see that I'm still recovering from an injury and I'm one arm short. But to have the pleasure of doing the kill test, I'd like to bring back one of my students, the Merkite Kali.
I feel really good going into weapons testing. I think if the Yari's used in the ways that I've read about how it was used, I know that I'm just gonna mince that thing with my Yari. Oh, Jesus.
All right, Fuad, let's talk about your Yari here. We felt that it had very good balance to it, that on the initial slash right here, it dug in into flesh, then it hit the spine. The transference of energy hit a weak spot into your handle over here, but it still had a secondary cut all the way through. I would consider your blade a kill.
Thank you.
Fuad, your weapon suffered a catastrophic failure. Now, that's bad. However, you're not out of this competition yet. Jacob, your Yari still must perform in this kill test. Let's see what happens.
All right, Jacob, let's talk about your Yari. In the initial swing, instead of being able to cut cleanly with this part to cut through, this got in the way with the angle that it had. But let's talk about these particular blades. They are sharp enough to penetrate into the pig carcass. The thrust is really devastating and very deep into that. Your handle construction, it stayed true. No issues at all. Overall, your weapon will kill.
Thank you, sir. My Yari held up, and I'm just, thank you, God.
Well, Fuad, the blades of your Yari were beautifully constructed. The overall weapon was very elegant. However, your shaft broke in our first test, and we cannot move forward in this competition because that is a catastrophic weapon failure. And I have to ask you to please leave the forge.
I was really confident going into the competition, and I felt like my Yari was gonna really perform a lot better than Jacob's, and it's just pure irony all the way down.
Jacob, you are the Forged and Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job. How do you feel right now?
I feel amazing. I came here to prove that I can actually come out here at 19 and compete with serious knife makers. Thank you, sir. Really, I would have liked to beat Fuad in a different way, but I'm Forged and Fire champion at $10,000. It's awesome.